Yo nerds, what's up? It is your boy Parzival here, and I am back, and we are doing another video today. Today we're doing something a little different. We are reacting to something, but it's not a trailer. What we're going to be reacting to today is Grace Randolph's exclusive interview with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Zack Snyder, about his Snyder cut of Justice League coming to HBO Max in 2021. For those of you that know, I'm a staunch DC fanboy, an unapologetic one at that. And I've been a huge fan of Zack Snyder's for a very long time, even before he got involved in the DC movie making business. Excuse me. So I'm very excited to watch this interview. For those of you that don't know Grace Randolph, she is a content creator, mostly on YouTube. And she does trailer reactions and a lot of other things on a bunch of movies and things like that. She's also a very, very huge DC fan. In fact, she's one of the few content creators who championed for the Snyder Cut after the debacle that was the theatrical release of Justice League. Whereas you had most content creators either saying that Zack Snyder's cut doesn't exist, that it's just a myth, or saying that even if Zack did have a Snyder cut, we're never going to see it because it probably wasn't that good, which is why Warner Brothers ordered so many reshoots. Grace was one of the few who constantly, whenever the talk of the Snyder cut came up, one of the few people, as I said, who championed that his vision for this movie should be seen, that Warner Brothers should release it to the world, even if they never had any intentions of it being part of the continuity of the DCEU going forward. She was one of the very few content creators who clamored for it. And the fact that she has gotten this exclusive interview, I think, is kind of like a reward to her for being behind Zack and behind his vision of the Justice League being released. So I think the fact that she got this exclusive interview with Zack is amazing. And I'm excited to see the interview that she has with Zack here. As you can see in the setup that Grace had for this interview, you can see the bullet points of the topics that they talk about. From the intro, which I'm sure is just introducing Zack, to it looks like the last talking point being about Ray Fisher's Cyborg. So I have not watched this yet. It's 22 minutes long, so it's going to be a little bit longer video than you guys are used to me doing. But like I said, I don't, other than what's posted on here, I don't know if any other goodies might come up. If Zack might give a little nugget about his cut of the Justice League. I don't know if any of that's going to be in this. So anyways, guys, we're just going to go ahead and watch it. I might pause at certain points just to give my opinion on something, depending on what's talked about. But other than that, I'm just going to hit the play button. We're going to watch it. We're all going to react to it. And we're just going to see, what Grace has in store with this interview with Zack Snyder.
Look who we have here.
Look who we have here. The man, the myth, the legend.
Good morning.
The legend.
How does it feel to be the most talked about director in Hollywood?
True. True, though.
I don't know. I don't know if that's 100% true, but it's well, it's fun to be busy. I guess that's the important thing. We have. I'm working on finishing Army, and now pretty much full time on Justice League. So
Army of the Dead is for Netflix, right?
Yeah, Army of the Dead's for Netflix.
I'm excited for this. I think this is going to be great.
It's just.
I didn't even know Batista was in it.
That I got to do with those guys. And
That's
I'm
cool.
Really excited about it. I think it's something everyone's gonna think is really crazy, but really fun. So I'm excited for people to see it.
I can't wait. So the Snyder Cut is a bold move, Zack. You're breaking all the rules, including running time. So there's Titanic, 195 minutes. Gone
Right.
with the Wind, 221 minutes. But I hear your Justice League is even longer.
Yeah, well, I can't be. No one's going to accuse me of making short movies.
There's talk. Okay, as I said, I might pause it during the course of this. There's rumors that his Justice League cut is 4 hours long. 4 hours. At one point, I think it was even said that one of the cuts that was shown, I think to Jason Momoa, that it was like close to 4.5 hours. So you're talking about a possibility of us now. I am okay with me watching this HBO Max in my house and sitting there in my recliner for 4 hours. One, because it's going to be the Justice League we all deserved, so that's going to keep my butt in the chair. And two, I have, like I said before, I'm such a fan of Zack. I think he should be allowed to have this movie be 4 hours or 4.5 hours, whatever, if that's what's going to take for his true vision to be seen. So, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, 3.5 hours, whatever, I'm there. My guess is it's going to fall somewhere between that 3.5 to 4 hours. Because I believe the director's cut of BVS was 3 hours, 3.5 hours? 3 hours and 40 minutes, something like that. So, we're probably looking close to that 4 hour ballpark.
I think my track record with, especially with my director's cuts is pretty crazy. I don't know why that is, because it came from commercials, right? So
that's why.
30 seconds. Maybe it's because of that. I was like,
yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah. Break free of these chains.
So, and I have sort of famously advertised the runtime at 2 hours and 14 minutes, or no, 214 minutes, 2 hours and 14 minutes. Hilarious. 214 minutes.
Everyone's like, that's pretty normal length.
Exactly. Like, oh, you're crazy. No, it's actually a little bit more than that. But I think now, it's certainly, when it's now in its current state, it's going to end up being longer than that yet. So.
Okay, so if his average director's cut time is 214 minutes, so 60 minutes in an hour, right? So 2 hours, you're talking 120 minutes. At 4 hours, you're talking 400. No, wait. I'm dumb. I'm just gonna stop talking because my brain just shut off.
Exciting to bring all this new
200. No, yeah. So okay, so my brain's working. So 4 hours would be what 400 and. No, I'm saying 400 again. Why am I saying 400 again? 240 minutes. At 4 hours. So if his normal director's cuts are 214 minutes, I'm sorry guys, I'm doing this right after I worked. I'm still kind of sleepy, so ignore all that crap me saying 400 something minutes. Jesus, 400 minutes. So a 4 hour movie would be at 240 minutes. So again, I think I'm right. We're probably looking at somewhere between 3.5 to 4 hours for his Justice League cut. And I'm good with it.
The fans, I get to see all these crazy and awesome new sequences, and
I'm sleepy.
That's going to be exciting.
So can you reveal like the ballpark of how long it's going to be, or is that still a closely guarded secret?
It's a slightly closely guarded secret, yeah. I just want, the thing is, like, I really want to, when I sort of talk about that in the upcoming time, because I'm still working on it, so I don't want to, like, say, because it's still...
Yeah, you don't want people to be like, where's the minutes you promised me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people would do that.
Holding you accountable.
Yeah, 2 minutes short, where are they?
Yeah, we want to keep those...
There would be too, and you guys know it.
Yeah.
There'd be some idiot out there. Where the hell is that 2 minutes or 5 minutes you promised me before?
And you're doing all of this from home. I had a wonderful time in 2017. I got to visit you and your team on the Warner Brothers lot. You had this huge suite of offices, a giant editing bay. But now you got to do this movie from home. What's it like with you and your team in quarantine?
It's kind of, look, it's challenging, but I'll be honest about our working situation in that it is pretty efficient. We've gotten to this point where we can really sort of I have editorial upstairs, and then downstairs we have like a screening room so we can watch the dailies or watch the visual effects as they come in, and then Dodie and I have like this amazing sort of mirrored editing system, so I can see.
Dodie's your editor.
Yeah, so I can see exactly what she's doing, and it's really an amazing technological setup. allowed us.
It's very cool that it sounds like he has like everything he
You
needs
can't leave it, right? You don't.
at home.
It's
Oh
in
yeah,
that.
you'd be like 2 in the morning.
It sounds like
"I'm
it's
right
making
here."
it
It's
at least
literally
through
in that.
quarantine
Like,
easy for him.
It's like it's crack of dawn till like the wee hours, and we're just you can never. I mean, unless the kids come and drag me out, yeah, pretty much. It's good. It's fun. I really enjoy it.
But you had to call tech support.
Oh God, yeah, all the time.
That's great. That
Like
must
the
be
big-
really crazy.
Those are our breaks. So the breaks we get are when we're like, oh, machines don't work. Now we can go outside.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
jump on the
great.
trampoline or work out or
Hey,
something.
this was just unplugged. Oh, really?
Oh, oops.
Yeah. Hmm.
I thought that was the fixed all technological problems. You just unplug it.
Yeah. That's how you fix yourself for a few minutes. So, speaking of secretive, you've only shown your cut to a handful of people, and it's already become legend. That's a lot of pressure. So, what do you feel that the Snyder Cut needs to deliver?
Look, the great thing about this whole process is it's sort of been an amazing, it's been a way to kind of allow filmmakers and storytellers, it's this kind of affirmation of this concept that, storytellers matter, their stories matter. And I think really the big pressure on me is just for it to be exactly true to itself, And I know that sounds like obvious, but we as storytellers and as filmmakers, a lot of time, there's a lot of different powers that push and move and change, what you're doing as you're doing it. But I think with this process and this project, it really is an amazing opportunity just to.
So, what I got from that is this was Zack's kind of subtle way of saying, when I first was doing Justice League, every time I went to Warner Brothers with something, every time I got to show them something, there was always this, we don't want this, we don't want this, we don't like that, we don't like that, change this, change that. And it went from being his vision to slowly morphing into not being his vision. So, probably my guess is by the time him and Deborah had to step away for family reasons, that at that point it probably wasn't anywhere near what his initial vision was. So, and now it sounds like that with HBO Max saying, here's all this money, finish your movie, give the fans what they've been wanting. It sounds like he finally feels free to really give the fans not just what we've been wanting as fans, but to give the fans what he's been wanting to give us in a Justice League movie. And not what, Warner Brothers is forcing on him to what they think the fans want. People can say what they want about Zack Snyder, but Zack Snyder has been a diehard comic book fan his entire life. He knows what fans want to see. He knows what fans hope to see when we go to the theaters to see these movies. So I think, and to me, when you look at what Zack's given us, Man of Steel, probably the best Superman origin story movie, or origin story period. I think that movie is just fantastic. Batman v Superman, to me, the director's cut is still not knocking anything Marvel's done, because I think what Marvel has done has been fantastic. Infinity War, that whole movie, both parts were just fantastic. But to me, BVS, the director's cut, is still, to me, the most pure comic book movie I've ever seen. Just down to its guts and to its core, is by far the best comic book movie I have ever seen. Probably going to come to a close second to Zack Snyder's Justice League, but this is what I've gotten from this, is that he finally feels free of the constraints, free of the shackles that were placed on him when he was first doing Justice League, to where now he feels like he can finally give the fans, as I said, not only what we want to see, but what he wants us to see. And I think, like he said, as a storyteller, as an artist, that's all they ever want to do. They want to give fans their vision because they believe that is what we really want to see. And I agree.
And what I think the fans want is just a very pure and
Yep.
and exact version of the movie, and that's what I'm doing my best to
That's why we love you, Zach.
That sounds fantastic. So also, the fans, what they want to know, there's been a lot of talk about continuity, cinematic universes, right? That just dominates comic book movie discussion overall these days. And some fans have been wondering how, or even if, that your version of Justice League relates to the rest of the DCEU. Care to clarify?
Yeah, no, it's a good question, in that, you know, we shot the movie in 2016, you know, like, so
Things happen fast in Hollywood.
yeah, it'll be 5 years old when it comes out. For me, you know, I've been living with it for that long, so, you know, I think that, like, and frankly, the DC, you know, cinematic universe has gone on its branched like a tree and blossomed and grown in amazing and great ways. Like, I'm a producer on Wonder Woman 84, and I'm super excited about what Patty's done with that movie, and like,
I can't wait for that. I think it's going to be great.
I love that. You know how I love that character, and I love Doll. It's like, you know, it's very close to me, and so, you know, that's great. That's amazing, I think, to me. And you look at like what Matt's doing with Batman, and you know,
I'm very excited about Matt Reeves' Batman.
And by the way, I think I'm super excited about that.
I think what we've seen from the suit and the Batmobile, I think everything looks great. I love that it's gonna have like this noir feel to it.
Anyway,
I'm just, you know, I'm very excited to see, like you said, Robert Pattinson's performance as Bruce Wayne and as Batman.
But you know, for me, in the, like, you know, where the movie falls is it's sort of, I believe that it really starts to represent its own path. You know, it doesn't really, it's kind of separate now from what I would say the DC universe, cinematic universe, in continuity. I think it is kind of, it's divergent in that way, and I think that that's a good thing. I think that, you know, the power of DC, and one of its cool strengths is the sort of multiverse concept, where, you know, and also where they kind of put filmmakers first and say, you know what, guys, we want to hear your individual voices. Take these characters and do a run, and so show us what, like, you know, you would do, in sort of the great tradition of comic book writing and runs that have done with all these amazing characters. So I think that is a cool and amazing sort of canvas. And so for me, you know, I think Justice League, you know, I've heard someone say like, oh, like, so you're entering the Snyderverse now when you watch and frankly, you know, this notion that, you know, what you'll see in Justice League and Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel, there's continuity across those three movies. That's really,
right.
You know, very, because I made them. You know, I think that like that's my main focus, is to satisfy that narrative structure.
To continue that story that so many people fall in love with.
Right.
Well, I really like, you know, we were talking about this beforehand, you know, in the run up to this, and I loved your explanation that it is like those great runs when you have these really amazing artists with visions.
All three of those, excellent.
And just do like this really high art version of what they would do with that character if they were telling a story.
Yeah, and that's exactly
Dark Knight Returns, Kingdom Come, like Luther, Joker.
These characters will live.
If you've not read any of those, pick one, read it, and then go on to the next. All three are fantastic.
Thank God. So, you know, for me, it's really, I'm doing what I can at this time with these amazing actors and characters and situations in this scenario. And I just think that I'm blessed to have, like, you know, these actors sort of fill these shoes in this way that I think people really care about it.
Well, you picked them too. You did a very nice job. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But speaking of characters, I really like Evil Superman. You like Evil Superman. A lot of people, just like Batman, don't trust the guy. Why do you think the darker side of the Man of Steel is so appealing to people, and will we see more of that in the Snyder Cut?
Well, look, do I love the Evil Superman? I'm not 100% sure if that's true. Other than that, I will say I love the idea of Superman going on a journey with his character, I love the idea of Superman having to like reconcile his morality, reconcile his place on Earth, reconcile like his love affair with Lois and how that affects you know the way he relates to humanity and all those things, as we all do with the normal relationships we all have in our daily lives. So I think that when you see Superman grapple with those things, he becomes a lot more relatable and a lot more, you can
Superman,
see
that's dark.
What's that?
For Superman, that's dark.
Well, yeah, and I think that's what I'm saying. So like when I see Superman like having to figure out like what to do, I now can go like, wow, if I was Superman, I can see.
Right.
Superman is such an abstract character in his powers and like what he's able to do, that anytime you can kind of bring him, back down to earth, he becomes a lot more relatable, and I think for that reason more interesting. But I do like that.
Real quick, also, I just want to point out the way Zack Snyder has written Kal-El, Clark Kent, over the course of, well, it'll be 3 movies once we see his Justice League cut, but really Man of Steel and BVS, and then Henry Cavill's portrayal based off of those writings. I think the two of them have just created gold. It's lightning in a bottle with these two. Henry Cavill is far and beyond, and this is no disrespect to anyone who's worn the cape before, but to me, Henry Cavill is the best Superman we've ever had. From what we've seen so far to date, and a lot of that has to do with how much love and respect and reverence Henry has for the character. Also, same with Zack. I just feel like that these two, like I said, it was lightning in the bottle with these two finding each other. Henry getting, Zack being asked to do Man of Steel, him finding Henry getting the role. There's this great chemistry with the two of them, and their understanding of at the core what Kal-El is, who he is. And I just think it's been such a great arc. In Man of Steel, it was Clark going out on his own, trying to understand his place in the world, what he's meant to do, finding out that he's an alien from another world, and that his real name is Kal-El. I mean, really, if you think about it, he doesn't really become Superman until the very, 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 very end of the movie when he takes down that spy plane that's supposed to be following him. At that point, I think, is when he's kind of embraced his destiny. And then from the time between that to BVS, he's now having to do, even now that he's kind of like accepted, what he believes, what his father, Jonathan believed was his purpose here. Now he's having to deal with some of the world questioning, do we even want him? Do we want someone who's this powerful here on our world? And then on top of that, having to deal with Batman, and Batman blaming him for all the death and destruction that happened in Metropolis, and his worry that with all that power, one day Superman will just want to conquer and rule the world. And seeing Kal-El go through all that, that really that emotional destruction. Him not knowing what to do, if he should continue his place in the world, if he should continue to be this beacon of hope. And it's just that arc, I guess was supposed to finish in Justice League. Zack saying, probably, his vision is that in Justice League, that's when Kal-El was going to hit his pinnacle. So, finally embracing what it means to be Superman. So, I just think it's great what the two of them have done. It's just been nothing but perfection, in my opinion. So, I can't wait to see what happens in Justice League.
A huge respect for his moral code, his
Oh, sure, but
and his ultimate, and I think his ultimate place as the sort of as the top of the pyramid of the DC superhero world.
Oh, totally.
I think you have to in the end, he has to achieve that
So
pinnacle.
you feel you're taking him to that pinnacle with your story?
I always felt like that was where
Yeah.
he was.
Because
Like that
I
was-
think that you show him in a more, I think you show him in his most powerful. You know, like in some of your shots, some of my favorite shots that you've done, you know, like the heat vision laser eyes that sometimes he just has,
Yep.
you know, and some of the confrontations in Batman v Superman, and also, you know, the way he is just so powerful from what we see, you know, the glimmers we've only just seen in Justice League. And I think also, obviously, the Nightmare stuff. So I think that
Yeah.
that stuff's really compelling.
Yeah, and frankly really fun because, you know, we kind of have these like now like with the resurrection sort of theme concept, you know, who is he now? Like, what is he? When you touch the, like, you know, the eternal, in the sense that coming back from the grave, like how are we changed by that? So,
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
fun.
That's great. So also, there have been a number of Batmen, obviously, through the years, but nobody has done as good a job with Bruce Wayne as you and Ben Affleck. Why did you decide to do so many scenes with Bruce while a lot of other films focus largely on Batman?
You know, I don't think it was
That's actually a great
I don't think
question.
it's necessarily a conscious like decision to say, oh, let's use Bruce as the sort of conduit. But I mean, I think in these two movies, in BVS and in Justice League, because Batman is forced to do a lot of sort of he's doing a lot of Bruce Wayne activities, if you will. Like,
Yeah. Places only
like-
Bruce can go.
yeah, like being out in the world. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you know, Bruce doesn't really. It's hard for Batman to go to a party, or it's hard. You know what I mean? Like,
Unless it's a costume.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, unless it's a costume party.
But I think that, you know, Bruce in his humanity again, I think is an amazing thing to see. And, like, you know, because we know everyone loves Batman, and Batman's a badass, and that's just how it is. But the why of that, I think, is really cool.
I think so too. Everyone loves your Bruce, your and Ben Bruce. It's fantastic.
Ben. I love that.
Fantastic. Well, you know, your casting decisions have really helped shape the entire DCEU. It might have blossomed, but you were the seed. And I think you've done a fantastic job. And Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot turned out especially well. And fans felt that Aquaman and Wonder Woman weren't done justice in the 2017 theatrical cut. What can fans look forward to seeing from those characters in your version?
Well, you know, I'm not sure. Again, you know, I'm famously, and it's 100% true. I haven't seen the theatrical cut of
Oh,
Justice,
sure, yeah.
and so I'm not
Don't.
100% sure what
Don't, please.
happened in the movie.
Don't.
But you know, I would
Forget
say
that
that.
thing. For your,
What's that?
Forget that thing. We don't care about that old version anymore. But
Well,
for
I mean,
yours,
I'm just saying that
Yeah.
if you make it as a, you know,
comparison. Yeah.
comparison, yeah, I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I felt like, and we were excited about just how those two kind of loners would have to, you know, be incorporated into this team setting, and like how they would react and what they would do. And meanwhile, you know, Wonder Woman has other things going on as she looks forward to the future, and like what is her place, and is it time to, you know, think about like what she left behind on Themyscira and things like that. Like there's a lot of balls in the air with them, with both of them. So I think it's incredible. It's
That's
also
cool if
funny
some of
because,
that's going to be implemented in his version.
Aquaman, the movie, you know, takes place after this movie,
Yes.
right? But Wonder Woman '84 takes place before this movie, so it's an interesting timeline, if you will. But I do think that again, to try to look at it as a really sharp continuity, I think would be a mistake. I think there is like I say, I think those movies now, you know, in a lot of ways, the theatrical version probably of Justice League is tighter in continuity to what they're doing now in the DCU, because frankly, that was a movie that they kind of they were in charge of the elements, right? And because of this, and because Warner Brothers has done the kind and amazing gesture of saying, Zack, just go finish your vision. It hasn't, it's going to be divergent in some ways. It's just by its nature. But,
Real quick, I know it's at the end of the video, but I gotta say this. I think there's a very good chance that when in 2021, when the Snyder Cut makes it to HBO Max, that if it is, and I think it will be, if it's garnered with love and excitement and just cherished as the spectacle that I think it's going to be, and it's just going to blow up and be this huge, fantastic movie, I would not be surprised, not at all, if Warner Brothers and DC decides to just kind of brush the theatrical release of Justice League under the rug and go with this as part of their canon, their continuity within the DCCU. At the end of the day, it's business, right? If Warner Brothers and DC think that this is the direction we need to go, that movies now going forward have to take in consideration this version of Justice League, it just might happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I mean, think about it. Justice League was, for all intents and purposes, a dumpster fire. Yes, it had some good moments, but for the most part, the movie was a dumpster fire. If this comes out, if you're a dumpster fire here, and then the Snyder Cut comes out, and it's the greatest effing thing that has ever been produced with the Warner Brothers and DC tag, do we really expect Warner Brothers and DC to stick with this version down here? To stick with the dumpster fire? No.
And I think that's a thing you want, because it just allows more is more.
Yeah. Well, as you said, DC is famous for doing these great graphic novels and these stories that come out and are really the signature of the people who are making them. And so I think it's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Also, fans are really intrigued by Ray Fisher's Cyborg, and we haven't seen a lot of him just yet. Especially today with Black Lives Matter. What do you think his expanded story, and you're going to have a lot more of his parents as well. What do you think they'll be adding? What do you hope they'll be adding to your film?
I from the beginning, when Chris Terry and I started talking about this story, we really wanted to make Cyborg the heart of the movie, and Ray from the beginning. We love Ray and the casting of Ray, and I get along amazing. He's a close friend, and
Ray Fisher is amazing.
We talked to him a lot about what he thought the character should be, and what kind of, because there's a big, Cyborg goes on a huge journey,
Oh wow, that's
and
great.
just as far as where he is when we meet him, where he is at the end of the movie, it's really, he represents in a lot of ways this sort of what it is to create community and what it is to bring people together. I think that
and there was none of that in the theatrical cut.
In 2016, and I just think that those themes are more important now than ever. So it's a really amazing and fun journey to be able to work with Ray and to be able to bring that character to life, which is so important.
Well, finally, your interaction with fans is unparalleled, and you told me you have more than one surprise coming up at JusticeCon later this week.
All right.
So can you tease that all, or?
Yeah. No, of course. I think the JusticeCon stuff. And by the way, I'm super excited about JusticeCon because it's, it's a 5 fans, 4 fans con, which I don't know if there's too many of those going on at this scale. With these guys putting it on is just amazing. And so I was more than honored to do whatever I could to participate. And a lot of my friends, literal friends, are a part of it, so that's fun. And so, I may show a clip.
Maybe.
Look. And it is a small clip, but I may. What did I say? It is.
Yeah, you might.
It may be a small
Yeah.
clip. Yeah. And also maybe there's another little, like a teeny little kind of another announcement as well, like a little side thing just for the fans.
Yeah.
And so, not that everything is just for the fans, because I guess it is. But
This is cool though. So people
the
might
exciting
want
that
to
I think
tune
the clip is the that's gonna be fun.
Oh, that's very exciting. And when is the?
Oh, I just got chills.
Yeah,
I just
I'm
got
on Saturday
chills.
at,
Saturday. Okay, Saturday.
I'm looking for my notes, but I don't
I'll
have
put the
them.
information down.
Yeah.
below,
It's
so
Saturday. I
people
think
can check it out.
I think I'm right up for Ray. So
That's fantastic.
yeah, it's good.
So really, Zach, we're also happy for you, and congratulations. It just can't be said enough.
It's too kind. It's too kind. I thank the fans because without them, like I said, this wouldn't happen. So it's pretty cool.
Thanks, Zach. Thank you for your time. Stay safe.
Cheers. Okay, you too.
I tell you what. Whoops. I didn't want to do that. So, okay, let me go ahead and just click down here so you guys can see the. If you guys want to look at when the Justice Con thing is going to be. All right, can you fucking get off of there already? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, guys. So I think Grace did a phenomenal job in this exclusive interview she had with Zack Snyder. She kept it very light. What I liked the most about the way she went about it is it didn't feel like your typical interview, like you're sitting across from somebody and I'm just here to ask you questions and I'm going to keep hounding away at the questions. She kept it very light. She kept it very cool. And that's kind of like Grace's attitude too. If you've ever watched any of her videos, she's kind of like she's very, like I said, light, very upbeat, and I think that that type of attitude and that type of personality blends well for a great interviewer because, like I said, she kept it very casual. She stuck to her talking points. There was nice banter between her and Zach. And you can just tell, she's as excited as the rest of us. Like I said before in the beginning of this video, she's a huge DC fan. One of the few content creators that championed for the Snyder Cut. And I think this interview was just great. It was nice that, that she was able to get Zach to tease a little something for Justice Con this weekend. I know it's blocked out because I have it paused, but it's July 25th, which is this Saturday, at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when Zach is going to be a part of Justice Con. But yeah, I think this interview was great. It was great to hear Zach talk about his journey, working on the movie, talking about some of the characters. And you could just tell that he's relieved that he's finally able to show this to the world. Even though we have to wait till early 2021, we've been waiting 5 years already, guys. Really, what's another year? So I think this is great. I think Grace did a fantastic job. Grace, you did awesome. I think this interview was perfect. But guys, let me know what you think about this interview and what you might potentially see at Justice Con this weekend. Let me know down in the comment section down below. I would really, really appreciate it. Also, if you guys can hit that like and subscribe button, show some love. I would like this. Also, one last thing, you guys can check me out on Twitch. I just try to stream about 3 or 4 days a week. You can see the link in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, but there will be a link you can click down in the description box down below. And when you get there, click on that little heart, follow my page. Really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, have a great rest of your week. I hope you guys stay safe. Love you guys. Peace.